We have another major Forex prop firm coming over to the futures space. We're going to do a deep dive on this firm in this video. There's going to be a lot of information. We're going to go over absolutely everything they have to offer. So strap in, get the snacks, get the drinks, tune in. There's going to be a lot of information in this video. But before we get into the video, guys, we are live right here on YouTube, the New York Open, day trading the NASDAQ. You can see my green days, my red days, my full tilt moments, everything that involves me as a trader. You see live right here on YouTube. So be sure to smash that subscribe button with some serious authority. Also hit that like button for your boy. It's a free way to support the channel. Just get the content out to more people and get more eyes on the videos. And if you want to skip that eval stage and go straight to a funded account, TradeFi is running 30% off your straight to funded accounts or 40% off if you're a new customer. You can use code JM to lock that in. Also, Take Profit Trader is 30% off with zero activation fee. You can use code JM to get that as well. And then lastly, if you want to join a Discord, there's tons of traders talking trading, no BS, no drama, no fluff, just a bunch of traders trying to get better at trading. And I'm going to be also implementing new free training videos inside of this Discord. So you don't want to miss that. Be sure to join up. There's a link down in the description for you to join that. And fam, with that said, let's get into the video. All right, so jumping into this prop firm. This prop firm has been in the Forex space for some time now. I believe they were established in 2022, but this is FundedNext. They are coming over to the future space now, offering both Forex and futures, and they have some plans here that we're going to go over and cover. But we're just going to deep dive. We're going to review their website, just go over the things they have to offer here, and see what we're working with. They do have a one-time fee. There's no activation fee or monthly fee to their accounts. You can trade up to 300K in trading accounts. This is interesting because it's structured differently than most prop firms. You can have multiple accounts with this firm, but up to 300K. We're going to cover that here just later on in this video here. 24 hours guaranteed rewards. I guess rewards meaning payouts. And then they do allow news trading. If we scroll down here, they have some key highlights. They say there's no activation fee. There's no time limits. FundedNext puts traders in control, providing full trading freedom with no time limits to worry about. I guess that means you don't have to pass a challenge or evaluation account within a certain amount of time. Now they do have a 40% consistency rule. Again, we're going to cover that in a little bit. But they do have a consistency rule in their challenge accounts, but you don't, as long as you meet that consistency, you can pass in like 3 days or something like that. You can get your payouts in 5 days. We're going to cover that here in a little bit as well. They do allow news trading, and you can reset challenge accounts with a 10% discount, even if you violated any rules. I know they do offer Tradeovate as their platform. Now jumping down to, and also they do have a 15% performance reward from challenge, which we'll get into that in a minute, but just as like a quick summary, what that means, if you withdraw 10% of your account size, then you're eligible for a reward, for a 15% reward for doing that. So, and we'll cover that here in a second. So these are the plans that they offer. They have a $25,000 account, a $50,000 account, and a $100,000 account. Now, going to this, what they set up here, the trade up to 300K in trading accounts. What that means is your max allocation can't be more than 300K. So you could do 3 100K accounts. You could do, 6 50K accounts, or on the 25K, you could do, 12 accounts here, right? And so as long as it doesn't exceed 300K, you can do as many as you want up to that number. So, and you can mix it, right? So you could do a $100,000 account, 2 $50,000 accounts, right? And then 4 $25,000 accounts. So you can mix the bag however you want to, or you can do all $100,000 accounts, or you can do just the 50K accounts up to 300K, right? Or you can do the 25,000 up to 300K. However you want to do it, you can mix it up however you want, as long as you don't exceed that $300,000 allocation, right? This is that 15% performance reward. So we're going to cover the stipulations around this here in a little bit. But if you click on this, that FundedNext traders are eligible for a 15% performance reward from the challenge phase, provided traders meet 10% growth targets in their FundedNext account. And if you click on this, here, let's go to a new tab here. It gives an example, right? So once a 10% growth requirement is met, the 15% performance reward from the challenge phase is calculated based on the challenge phase profit target, not the total growth made, right? So like for a 50K account, right? Once you reach that 10% growth requirement, you get 15% of the total profit target, right? So the 50K account has a profit target of 2,500. So then you'll get 15% of that, which is 375. And that 10% growth that you have to hit, once you withdraw 5,000, right? So once you withdraw 5,000 from a 50K account, that's what's going to get you the 375. So that's that 10% growth target that they're talking about. 10% of 50K, you withdraw $5,000, you get 15% of the total profit target of that account, which is 2,500. Therefore, you receive 375 performance bonus. And they had that listed here for all three of these accounts. Now, going to the profit targets on the $25,000 plan, they have a profit target of 1,250, 50,000, 2,500, 100,000 is 6,000. They do have a daily loss limit on these. There's a soft breach, so 600 on 25, 1,200 on the 50K, and 2,400 on the 100K. The maximum loss limit on these accounts is 1,250 for the 25K account, 2,500 for the 50K account, and $3,000 for the 100K account. And then they do have max positions, so 2 minis on the 25, 3 minis on the 50, and 5 minis on the 100. They do have a consistency rule, but their consistency rule isn't that bad. It's a 40% consistency rule. I know most prop firms are in the 20 to 25% range. So they do offer a larger 40% consistency rule. Now, this consistency rule does apply on these challenges, not just the funded accounts, but on the challenges. So once you buy these, you have to make sure you follow the 40% consistency, or you'll have to make more in the challenge accounts. But these do allow you to pass the accounts on like day 3. Reset fee, they have a 10% discount. So you do get a 10% discount on total cost of these challenges if you do reset it. Now, as far as pricing goes, a 25K account is $99. It's a one-time fee. The 50K account is $199, and the 100K account is $399. So they are coming in a little more expensive than the other prop firm top one features that came in from the Forex side as well. They are a little bit more expensive. Top one's, elite challenge account is like $49, I believe is what it is. For the 50K, this is $199. So it is a lot more pricey. All right, so jumping into the eligibility to get a payout from your account, as I mentioned, they do have a 40% consistency rule to qualify for the performance reward. Again, this is more than what most prop firms offer, so this is actually not that bad. But you do have to meet that 40% consistency rule. They do have a benchmark day requirement where you have to make X amount each day that qualifies as a trading day, right? Now, a trader can request a performance reward when they meet these 3 criteria: minimum 5 benchmark days, meeting consistency rule, and a minimum $500 profit in the current cycle. So you have to have a minimum of $500 in profit, and then you have to meet the 5-day benchmark. And to meet that, you have to have a certain amount of profit in each account that qualifies as a benchmark day. So these are their benchmark day requirements here. On the 25K account, you have to make $100 for it to qualify as a trading day, $100 in profit to qualify as a trading day to get to those 5 days, and then $200 for the 50K and 100K accounts. So if you make anything less than these on these accounts, then it will not qualify as a trading day or a benchmark day. So you have to make sure you have at least 5 days with this amount of profit for each of these 3 accounts. But they do say that even if a trader does not meet the benchmark day requirement, any profit made will still be counted and will contribute to the performance reward consistency rule calculation. So going over to the consistency rule calculation, they do have examples here on what it takes to meet the consistency rule and what happens if you violate the consistency rule. So make sure you guys go to the website and see what they have labeled here on their charts if you want to make sure you do meet those consistency rules they have. Now, as far as payout limits goes, minimum performance reward is $250. That is the minimum you can request. Traders must accumulate at least $500 in profits in the current trading cycle before requesting a withdrawal at $250. So you can withdraw 50% of your profits as long as you meet the requirement to do so. A trading cycle is derived from performance reward to performance reward. So this resets itself after you get paid. So once you get paid, you have to make sure you make another, $500 in profits to request 50%. Maximum performance reward limit. There is no limit. There is no restriction on the maximum amount you can withdraw. However, until a trader completes 30 benchmark days, they can only withdraw 50%. So there technically is a maximum until you complete 30 benchmark days. So once you get to that 30 benchmark day, remember that benchmark days are when you meet that total profit per account each day, and that logs it as a benchmark day. Once you reach 30 of those, there is no restriction on the maximum amount you can withdraw. I believe you can withdraw 100% of your account at that point, but that's only after 30 benchmark days. Anything before that, you can only withdraw 50% of your profits. This allows traders to withdraw profits freely based on their trading performance. And don't forget that once you withdraw 10% of your account size, then you get that performance bonus, right? So for instance, the 50K FundedNext account, they will qualify for a 15% performance reward from the challenge phase once their total withdrawn amount reaches 5,000. So once you withdraw 10,000, you get that 15% performance reward of that profit target, which was 2,500, therefore giving you 375. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but again, in simple terms, if you withdraw 5 grand out of a 50K account, whatever the profit target was in the challenge phase, you get 15% of that profit target. Now, jumping over to their trading rules and guidelines, you cannot trade overnight or trade over the weekend. They say here, if you click into this, overnight and weekend holdings are not permitted at FundedNext. It is important to remind traders that they must close their positions by 3:10 Central Time. So cannot hold overnight or trade over the weekends. Remember, they do have a daily loss limit there. Just make sure you don't hit that daily loss limit. It is a soft breach. It will deactivate your trading for the day. And they do have a maximum loss limit where if you hit the max loss in the account, you obviously have to just reset it. As far as news trading goes, FundedNext Futures does not impose any news trading, meaning traders are allowed to engage in news trading during both the challenge account and the FundedNext account. However, while there are no restrictions on news trading, traders should be aware of the potential risk associated with high impact economic events. So if you do like trading news and you are a news trader, you can in fact trade news during your challenge account and your funded account. Is there a maximum profit limit per day in the funded account? There is no maximum profit. You can click on it, you can see here, there is no maximum profit. Just make sure that you don't go over the 40% consistency rule. That's really all that is. Again, while they don't have a maximum amount you can make, you have to make sure that you stay within that 40% consistency rule if you do want to get paid. Is there any consistency rule to be followed at the futures FundedNext account? We already covered that. There is a 40% consistency rule at the challenge phase and the funded level phase. So make sure that you do follow that 40% at both levels, the eval and the funded. Just like any other prop firm as well, they don't allow any automated trading bots, anything like that. So just make sure you're not using any of that. Make sure it is you trading your accounts and you should be just fine there. I do have a page that's dedicated to prohibited trading strategies at the prop firm. This is an entire page. You can go through this. They have an exploiting platform errors. You can read through all this: account sharing, account rolling, where you basically buy multiple accounts with the intention of sacrificing one to pass the other. There's multi-order spam and coordinate with trading exploits. There's tons of different ones on here that you can go through and read some of these. Account flipping and inconsistent contract execution. This is where a lot of people are going to be probably denied or looking at here. Account flipping and inconsistent contract execution involving using high margin to rapidly grow or blow up accounts through reckless, oversized positions. This high-risk approach lacks strategy and discipline, making it unsustainable and prone to failure. And I do give an example here. A trader qualifies for a FundedNext account and immediately places an all-in trade, risking the entire account balance on one position. If the trade is successful, they withdraw profits. If it fails, they open another account and repeat the process, making no effort to refine their trading strategy or follow sustainable risk management practices. So just make sure that you don't do any of that. And again, you can just read through this whole entire page and see what else they do not allow for. Now, this excessive micro scalping. I know some other prop firms did have this micro scalping rule, which they got. I think one prop firm actually got rid of it. But for FundedNext, they say while scalping is a common strategy, micro scalping involves executing trades that are open and closed within 5 ticks or held less than 15 to 20 seconds, making it an unsustainable and disruptive approach. So if you do take trades, make sure you hold them longer than 15 to 20 seconds. So there's some good insight on this page. It tells you what you can and can't do. There is a lot to read through here, right? They do have a negative risk reward, so be sure you're looking at that. Reverse hedge, like there is so much on here. So make sure that you do read through all of this. And now I will say at the bottom of this page is where a lot of traders, some traders actually do a lot of these things that they have here at the bottom. So be sure you scroll through all of this and read through it. I'm not going to go through all of it on this video. Otherwise this video would be an hour long. So make sure you guys go through that. That way you don't get denied any payouts when you do request. So that pretty much covers everything about FundedNext Futures. This is a Forex prop firm coming over to the futures side. They were very successful on the Forex side. So we'll see how they do on the futures side. Again, the jury is still out on how they do, how they pay out, the rules, etc. But I'll let you guys tell me what you think down in the comments. Do you think this prop firm has fair rules? Do you like the pricing? Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Again, always do your research on the prop firms you're going to trade with. Just because a new prop firm opens doesn't mean you have to go trade with them. Be sure you do your own research, look at their rules, look at what they offer, and see if it's a great fit for your trading style. And as always, family, like this kind of content, smash that like button down below, subscribe to the channel to get more daily content, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.